Part 4. The Descent. They fell hard. Colton lay there for a moment, in agonizing pain, gazing back up at the hole they had fallen through. Wilson was the first to his feet, pouring fragments of glass and metal from out of the cache he was carrying. "Damn," he said. "That fall broke most of our equipment." Colton struggled to get up, dusting himself off and doing his best to ignore the pain in his neck and back. He helped Chavez and Jackson get up, as Wilson helped Alea and the overseer. "That was lovely," Chavez said, checking her shotgun for damages. "Let's take whatever equipment we can salvage. Siri can analyze them while we look for a way out of here," the overseer said. Colton shook off the ringing in his ears and took a good look at their surroundings. The dark gray, cave-like insides of the rock's walls were grimy and sharp, with bits of dark orange minerals within them.
"I need to get a sample of this sediment,"
Alea said, willing herself to the wall and scraping some into one of the vials that weren't broken. She winced with every move. Colton noticed that the pilot's heart rate went from green to orange. "Everyone seeing this?" Colton asked.
"Over here,"
the pilot said. They all turned, finding him crushed beneath a massive rock from the waist down.
"My legs,"
he groaned, trying to free himself. Jackson and Colton hurried to lift. Wilson pulled him from under it as soon as they leveraged it up. They dragged and propped the pilot up against a wall.
"I've never been grounded before,"
he said, coughing up blood through a failed laugh.
"I guess there's a first time for everything."
They left the pilot for a moment to regroup. "I can give him a shot of the Psycho X to relieve the pain, but if we don't get headed back, he's not going to make it," Wilson explained. "I agree," said Colton. Everyone nodded in approval. "Give him the shot," the overseer said. "It should last until we come back with the samples." He grabbed the equipment and headed for a random tunnel. "We're not leaving him," Colton said, slapping the equipment from the overseer's hands. "We have a mission, which is already compromised. We are getting him, and we are getting the fuck out of here. We can't put the life of one person over the life of everyone else in the compound." The pilot screamed, and their attention turned back to him. At the moment when Colton and the overseer were arguing, the pilot became engulfed by a black, slimy substance. Wilson went over to check on him, but the black goo hissed as he got near it. "Is that shit alive?" Colton said as he pulled out his pistol. The pilot tried to free himself, but the more he moved, the faster it covered him. Within minutes, it completely covered him until all that was left was a black mound. They watched in horror as his vitals turned from orange to red. The black creature's oily exterior hardened. Colton fired shots at it, but they bounced off. Colton put his gun away, then turned to the overseer and slammed him against the wall. "You bastard," Colton said. "His death is on your hands." Wilson and Jackson grabbed Colton and pulled him off the overseer. As they tried to get Colton to calm down, the black creature began to move again. Colton shook them off his arms, and everyone took a step back. The cocoon-like shell began to break. Cracks started to form in it before it began to turn into a slimy substance again. Then it took on the shape of a man.
"Johnny?"
Chavez said, taking a step forward. Where the pilot's face should be was just black goo. It rippled like tiny waves from the center outward. "How was he standing?" Wilson asked. The creature roared at them. They pulled their weapons and unloaded on it. The cave filled with the sounds of gunfire, but the creature absorbed the bullets into its gooey black body. Colton signaled with his hand, and they stopped firing. They waited. The creature's hands melded together, forming long blades. Then it charged at them. They all ran, but in different directions, maneuvering through the random corridors of the rock without thinking. There were many dark corners and tunnels. It was like a maze. Colton tried to process what happened to the pilot, but let his guard down when he was angry and became distracted. But Colton didn't see the ledge until it was too late.